What we do here is go back.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome to episode 49 of the Lost Media podcast. I am a bonehead. Yes, I released my commentary video of Australia's Naughtiest home videos, the first commentary video on this channel. I should start by saying I apologize, there won't be another one for quite some time. There's a lot of work to be done to get another one up. It's just the podcast for now, but I will be trying to get one done in the not too distant future, I promise. Because the feedback so far, it was one comment, but it was very nice. What's happened with that, and there's 13 likes on it. People have done a great job. Thank you, guys. What's happened is, well, not only has the channel been ruined, there's 49 podcasts and 50 videos on the channel now, but also today when I was looking through Google Images on Australia's Naughtiest home videos, just because it was left there on my browser in my tabs, I was like, oh, let's have a look here. Oh, this is an image I don't recognize in Google Images. Clicked on the image. There's an archive.org link. I go, oh, that's a bit different to what I previously saw. I didn't know that there was the Channel 9 version looked like this on archive.org. Did someone else re-upload it? Oh, okay. Which is the re-ed version, by the way, that I mentioned in my commentary. Clicked on it, and it's the original 1992 broadcast of Australia's Naughtiest home videos. In my commentary, I mentioned that it's still lost. Not anymore. Technically, if you want to get into technicals, the Sydney version is lost. That's the version I showed on my commentary on Australia's Naughtiest home videos. That is the version that has it cutting to ads 33 odd minutes into the episode. Yeah, 33 minutes into the episode, it cuts to ads, and then it goes straight to the announcement. There's a few discrepancies. It's playing behind me. There's a few very important discrepancies with this. The Melbourne version and the Sydney version, I should start by saying, are the only two versions that exist, because in Brisbane, there was enough time before it hit Brisbane that they were able to just say no and cut it completely. I'm not sure if Brisbane is ahead of time of Melbourne. Wow, my brain is starting... I'm starting to do the meme from The Hangover where he's like calculating? That's what I'm starting to think. Is Brisbane ahead of time from Melbourne? I don't think it is. I think it's 30 minutes behind, but you guys can correct me. Oh, no, it might be 30 minutes ahead. God damn it. God, this is so stupid. It was cut in Brisbane at the same time. I think it was cut in Sydney, yeah. Around the same time. It didn't get a full broadcast anywhere in Australia. I know that's a fact. But in Melbourne, it took them an extra 20 minutes and an extra 2 more cuts to ad breaks for them to cut the show. That is the biggest myth. Until now, myth busted, guys. Until now, people thought the show only had 59% of its run and only had 30 minutes or 33 minutes it was. In Melbourne, it had 46 odd minutes of the show. And most of the show was aired in Melbourne. Way more than 59%. Something like 70-something percent. Nearly 80. Actually, into the 80% maybe of the show being aired. Also, in the Melbourne broadcast that I found, it does not come up with the station closer that it has in Sydney, which is amazing. It does show the ident as it goes into ads, but it just shows that, and then it goes to cheers. It doesn't have the voiceover saying, "We apologize for this interruption. Unfortunately, a technical problem has prevented us from continuing our scheduled program for the moment. In the meantime, we bring you a brief alternative program." So that's the Sydney version. Wow, I sound so freaking autistic saying that. It doesn't have that in the Melbourne version, which was kind of disappointing, actually, when I found it this afternoon. I cannot believe 12 hours after uploading my video, I have found it. By the way, guys, that script was written 2 years ago. That's why that video was so easy to make. That's why my first commentary video has come out way before it was meant to, because I had that script just sitting there for 2 years. And it was meant to be a collaboration with another YouTuber that didn't fall through. So I just last week thought, what the hell, I'll just record this. I recorded on the Monday. My mic wasn't turned on. Recorded on the Tuesday. Did a better recording anyway, and then edited the audio one night. And then yesterday, I just thought, what the hell, let's just edit this whole thing together and get it over and done with. I was meant to come out days and days ago, but it came out today, I guess you could say. Yeah, it was uploaded technically today. yeah, there's a few discrepancies I still need to talk about, but they're the two ones. Another discrepancy is, I don't think I mentioned this in the show, but in my commentary, there's a few things I forgot to mention that I want to get off my chest. The next day after this was aired in 1992, Kerry Packer, he basically fired and blacklisted people who were in charge and running the show, Australia's Naughtiest Home Videos. He just fired them from working on any 9 network projects. What a dog cunt. The show is actually, I watched it briefly today. I've never seen Naughty's Home Videos properly or scanned through it to actually look at any of the clips. Half of the show is very entertaining and is very relevant to what is considered humorous today. It was so ahead of its time. Half of the show is just like, I really don't want to watch that. More specifically, the animal sequences. The sequences with humans, it makes you feel more human watching a show like that. And it is so ahead of its time on television and had its place definitely on TV. And the irony that it got taken off the air. However, the animal clips are just ridiculous and just make you feel severely uncomfortable. I did mention that Kerry Packer blacklisted people the next day in my original Naughtiest Home Videos Lost Media special in 2016. This is the actual Lost Media Where Are They Now for the podcast. Hello and welcome to another Lost Media Where It's Too Late. Where Are They Now? Sam's Movies. I'm going to include every single time I've talked about this in my YouTube history in the description. So go down there. I'm also going to include the original 1992 9 network version in the description. The next thing I got to talk about, though, to get off my chest so I don't keep jumping around, sorry to the audience. In Australia, we got all the cities. There's different time zone differences. In Adelaide, none of Naughtiest Home Videos aired because that's 30 minutes behind. I'm pretty sure in Sydney and Brisbane, it was cut off around the same point. Brisbane might have aired slightly more or slightly less than Sydney, or I think it was the exact same actually. And the Sydney version is cut off at 33 minutes, as I said, with that really poor quality footage that I showed in my commentary. But the Melbourne version, as I've mentioned just before, has that extra 15 minutes of the show attached to it, which has never really been announced. But I realized what the Melbourne version was all about because I've seen this little piece from a TV show many times where these presenters, different television presenters, are talking about it. And this one woman says, and it just cut off with no explanation. It just ended like that. And I'm like, I always watched that and thought, what are you talking about? There was explanation. There was that person in the end saying, in the meantime, we bring you a brief alternative program. We couldn't continue the scheduled program because of a technical problem. That's half an explanation. And the next day there was an explanation. She says, oh, I was sitting down watching it and there's no explanation. She's referring to the Melbourne version, the one I found today. And that cleared it. That made me go, oh, it cleared the whole thing up. Again, another, so autistic. All right. Just got to stay on track with this because this is a very important update video for me, at least. I don't know about the viewers. Nah, you guys. This is very good to reiterate what's going. It's very nice. It's very good. I think that's most of what I got off my chest to do with this show. There is also the segment that I spoke about in my commentary, which ridicules fat kids, that was the only lost media from Australia's Naughtiest Home Videos. It has been found. It was in that original airing in 1992. It is the only clip from the show that I'm playing behind me. So when that comes up, you'll know that, non-presenter bits with Doug Mulray. Rip Doug Mulray, by the way. He's hilarious in this. I didn't realize how funny he was until I properly watched his presenter bits alone. Yeah, that's been found. That's the only clip that wasn't re-aired in the 2008 version. But everything else, it's now completely been found. Finally, guys. Finally, as of 2020 when it was uploaded. But it was uploaded to archive.org, so extremely hard to come across. I don't know how I came across this. I just saw a different image to what I was used to seeing when I searched up Naughty's Home Videos in Google Images, and it was there. I clicked on it, and it's the original. There is a slightly underwhelming aspect to this, and that is that I really did want the Sydney version, just because the Sydney version is the version that I first saw when I was a kid with the shitty quality uploaded to YouTube. And that's the more iconic version with the voiceover saying, we apologize for this interruption, but unfortunately a scheduled program. The person who uploaded this has literally put in the description on archive.org, If you guys have any alternate versions from other states, he means the Sydney version or the Brisbane version, please upload those or let me know or email me, because the Melbourne version is just not as good. But it's there. It's been found. Who cares? We found aspects. We're just finding bits and pieces of this. Finding little bits and pieces of this lost media. We have the full 1992 version finally. I've been looking for it for years. We don't have the Sydney one. Oh, another weird noise from my mouth. But that'll be found eventually. I'm positive that the Sydney one will come up one day. It's going to take some time though, because not many people would have recorded this. It took until 2020 for someone to find a copy of it, and it's in great quality. It's in really, really good quality. And I can tell you right now, it is far more wholesome watching the original broadcast. Even though it was cut during its broadcast, it is far more wholesome to watch this as opposed to the re-airing. Because the re-airing has all the new channel graphics. It doesn't have all the old ads attached. You like the old ads. And it's, yeah, you can tell it's kind of a bit... And it's missing part of the original. There's lost media. They cut out the portion where they picked on the fat kid. Hey, sure, pick on the fat kid. All right. To see that's really fascinating, intact with the original. And we're almost there, guys. It's not entirely found. We do need that original version. But this is something very cool. To have the original episode uploaded is amazing. I'm trying, while I'm just babbling on in this podcast, I'm actually trying to remember different details I had in my head. I really should have written notes for this because there's a lot to unpack with this discovery I found today. It's actually amazing. It's incredible that I've found this. All I can say is there are some notable differences between the different versions. And yeah, it's fascinating to see that, 33 minutes... it gets cut off in Sydney, and then it takes them another 15 minutes or 16 minutes to get the message to Melbourne to say, hey, quickly pull it. The guy who owns all the share, the person who owns all the shares to the Nine Network that's running this show, he will literally fire all of you if you don't pull this show. And so it took them that long. It took them an extra 2 segments. I'm pretty sure it's an extra 2 segments. You guys can correct me because it's in the description. To get this cut off in Melbourne. And then, of course, in Adelaide. And then in Perth, it just doesn't air at all. Or it starts airing for 5 minutes or so, maybe 15 minutes, and then it cuts over there. I don't think those versions will ever be discovered, and I don't think those versions are the ones you want to find. This Melbourne version isn't really the one I was looking for. As I've said, it's the Sydney version. It's the one I recognize. Yeah, let's just... But the most important thing is that no full version of the 1992 broadcast has existed online until I found this, until 2020, or until I found this version. So that's the importance of this. Guys, I've got more podcasts coming up. I'm doing Wednesday to Friday, I'm pretty sure, or it's Wednesday and Friday. I might skip Thursday. I'm going to try and include Thursday. Yeah, we got a lot of topics that are widespread. This was a little update vid, and then we're going to have so much, hopefully interesting stuff being posted to the Lost Media podcast channel. It's just podcasts for now, as I said. If you really like the commentary, please tell me how much you liked it, because I need the support, and I need that to be a discrepancy from the actual podcast for me to just get on the horse and make another one. There'll probably be less than 6 minutes every single one that I make to start that series, because it's been a while since I edited YouTube videos properly, and it takes a lot to do it. This wasn't easy for me to make. It wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar with my work, check out the end screen of this video, because that just shows the amount of work I put into videos in the past that never got views. Anyway, guys, I've got to end this. I do have to end this. Please check out the On We Talk podcast. It is hilarious. We filmed one recently. We film one every single week. It's got a new format that's coming very soon to the YouTube uploads. You guys are going to love it. I swear. I'm not lying. It is a comedic podcast, and it is in the end screen for this video. Check it out. What the hell is this content?